So, I've been solving the Rubik's Cube for a little over a month now. This is a Next Cube from Walmart. Very nice cube. I do recommend if you want to start doing a Rubik's Cube, the $5 to $10 that you would spend on a Next Cube Speed Cube from Walmart or wherever you'd go buy a Speed Cube is a good cube to start with. It cuts corners very nicely. That is something that cubers do like, because a normal Rubik's Cube, if it's just the least little bit off, it's not going to turn. And this, you want to be able to just turn without looking at the cube too much, too closely, and just know that it's working. And so, in this video, I would like to introduce my new Speed Cube that cost a little bit more, about $5 more, from Wish.com, and I highly recommend this. I don't usually recommend Wish products. I try to avoid Wish at all possible. But since I knew that this was a Chinese company to start with, I figured they would sell the same product on Wish, not clone. So I went there and it was cheaper, and this feels like the real deal. So what this is a Moyu Speed Cube. And here's the little stand that it comes with. Kind of a cheap stand, but it holds and displays your Rubik's Cubes nicely. Comes with a adjustment tool, a spare gear spacer that adjusts the height and spacing of your cube here, because this is a maglev Speed Cube, and a little screwdriver to disassemble the thing. We'll get those out of the way. And so what's the difference between the cubes? I'm going to talk about the difference between the cubes, and then I'm going to show you how to solve a cube, because since this last video that I made of showing you how to solve a Rubik's Cube, I have come across a few changes and improvements, so I'd like to put those in this video. The average Speed Cube here that you would see and buy from Walmart has springs, and each side here there are three axles. You have one axle this way, one axle this way, and one axle this way, going straight down. And that is these things here. And to illustrate that, we are going to do this. You see how the colors are all in the middle? Each centerpiece here is connected with an axle. Both of these have axles, but as you can see, that one pulls apart, this one pulls apart. What's the difference? This one has magnets, this one has springs. Why is magnets better? Well, the springs add a certain amount of friction because the spring is touching this centerpiece here and the inside of the cube, which is adding friction when you turn it. It's actually, touching both sides, and it's not giving you that freedom of movement. It's magnets repulsing each other, and they're just less friction, and it glides so much better. Also, the shape on the inside of this is a little different than the shape on the inside of this. That helps a little bit. So that's the main differences between the cubes, why I like this one better. And this one's a little bit heavier than this one. Not a lot. I would not say that it's even double the weight. I'd say about a time and a half the weight of this cube here. But that extra little weight just makes it feel good in the hands, like it's not going anywhere. Also, inside the cube, you can't really see it because it's inside the pieces here, but there's magnets, which helps you when you hit this thing. Unless you overpower it, they will pull these pieces to a stop on the next rotation. And my fingers don't know their own strength. I'm just powering past. Here, you have friction stopping it down, but that friction can kind of slow you down when you're trying to solve the cube. So it's kind of give and take. And I would recommend starting off with a Walmart cube, just to get a feel for how a cube feels to move fast, because you can move fast with this, but you can move faster with one of these. So let's scramble this cube up. No particular order to the scramble, just scrambling all over the place here. Not even looking at the cube. And to throw it off here, we'll just pass it around a little bit. I don't know which side's which. We'll just, scramble it up even more. Hope we're just doing something here. Okay. Both cubes are scrambled. The Moyu cube feels just a tiny ½ centimeter smaller than the normal next cube, but not much smaller. So, I'm going to show you two methods on how to solve a Rubik's Cube. I'm going to show CFOP, and then I'm going to show, I don't know what they call this one. I'm not that great at cubing yet, but CFOP is cross, first layers, orientation, permutation. This method has the orientation and permutation at the end. Not sure what they call it, but we'll go with it. So to solve this cube, and I'm going to bounce between cubes step by step here to show you the similarities. What we do, we start off making a daisy. You find the yellow center of your cube. You find your white edge pieces. I should take note here that there is anatomy to the cube. We have center pieces, corner pieces, edge pieces. There are only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 corners. But there are 8, 10, 12 edge pieces and 6 center pieces. I may have got the numbers off there, but you get the idea. You have corners, edges, centers, and that's what you work with. The centers do not move in orientation to each other, like they will always be green or yellow, green, red, no matter what you do to everything else. So find your cube, and if you want to solve along, please do. I encourage you to do so. You look for the white edge pieces. There's only 4 of them. You cannot mistake them. You see 4 white edge pieces, you move them around until you get that. Now, as you can see, they do not match their perspective centers because they need to go down here. We need to solve a complete face. We need to make this all white right here. So we look around. None of these match. So we'll just rotate the cube, the top to match, and we drop it down. So now we have 2 whites. If you got to pause the video or rewind, please do so. Let's look around. None of the others match at the moment. So let's take the green, white, and move it over to the green center. Drop that down. Move the orange over, drop that down. Move the red over, drop that down. Before I continue, I should also mention that there is notations, like you have chess notations so that people know what moves are being done. Cubing has notations, and we'll do it on this cube because I haven't started solving it yet. Each notation is without an apostrophe at the end. Let me just grab a notebook real quick here. When you look at the cube, you're going to have the face looking at you. But you hold, this would be the top, bottom, right, left, face, back. So the face, when you see that on notations, that means turn it clockwise as if you're looking at it. If you see this, that means counterclockwise, as if you're looking at it. So face, right, as if it's clockwise, as if you're looking straight at it. Right prime, as if you're looking at it. Clockwise, counterclockwise. L is clockwise, L prime, counterclockwise. Let's see, let's do the next one. Trying to figure out which ones would be best to go at in order here. U is up, that is the top side. U is clockwise, as if you're looking at it. If you see a U like that, you're just going to take it, you're going to turn it that way. If you see a U with a notch at the end of it, you turn it back the other way. B is back. that's this side back here. When you see B, you turn it as if you're looking at it square on and you turn it clockwise. If you see the notch, excuse me, you turn it back the other way. Excuse me, I got some burps coming up. D and D prime. D, down here, down. D, D prime. D, D prime. That's the 6 faces. There's 2 more. These do not get used all that often. But M is for mid. And you turn M, to the best of my knowledge, if you see no notch, you imagine looking at it from the right face, and you turn it that way. M prime, of course, is going to be turning it back the other direction. S is for center. Yeah, go figure. And that, if you look, is as if you're looking at the face here and turning it clockwise. If you see S prime, you turn it back the other way. And each letter is one rotation, 190-degree rotation, either way. You see F, you just turn it 90 degrees. If you see a number at the end, and you'll only really see the number 2 if they ever show it, and that they won't use the prime symbol, because let's just do U2 here. Boop, boop. You see how the orange is over here? Let's put it back to where it was. If I had done it the other way, it's going either direction. So you see a letter followed by a 2. That just means 180 degrees. Have it facing the opposite direction. So that is Rubik's Cube notation. I do hope that helps a little bit, because if you look at these websites that give you scrambles and stuff, that is what you're dealing with. F is face, R is right, L is left, U is up, B is the backside, D is the bottom, M, S. I do hope that helps. Didn't know that and did not clarify that in my last video. So we'll just leave that sitting here. So on this cube we have solved the white cross. And let's just go ahead and finish out the final corner pieces on this. This is going to be a long video. Please bear with me. So we have green, white, and orange. So let's look around. White, orange, and green. Same 3 colors. We have it over. Now we just need to get this dropped down into here with the white facing this way. So what do? We do the right algorithm. And the right algorithm is R, U, R prime, U prime. Left algorithm is left, U prime, left, U. Same thing, mirrored. And so we have dropped that in. And if you do it 6 times, the cube will end up back to where it was. That wasn't 6 times, but I hope that kind of shows you. But we'll come across that here towards the end of the cube. It'll make more sense when there's less stuff scrambled all over. Here's a fun one. You don't have to put this here and do the whole right algorithm to drop that down. What you can do is just rotate up and over. If you see the white facing the sides, if it's pointing out the way of the marker here, any direction, you can skip who knows how many moves and just drop it in. So, red, green, white, red, green, white. We need to get this down in here. So we rotate that empty space up, over, and back down. We have another white on the side here. We drop that down. That's pretty easy. This is the easy part of the cube. If you're having trouble with this, I recommend just pausing, going through this a few times, and just sorting it out. I do hope that by the time you're watching this, that you've watched my video before this, showing you how to solve a 3x3, and I hope you watch a bunch of the other fantastic cuber YouTubers out there. So we now have a complete white face, and all the edges of the white face match what they're supposed to match. Ignore all of that. You have the green center, green bottom edges, orange center, orange bottom edges. Ignore everything else at the moment. That is what you want to have at this moment in time. Now, let's get started on the other method. Again, I'm hoping that you've watched other tutorials here. If this is your first tutorial, stop, go watch something else, then come back when you're more familiar with the cube. So, here, we're not even going to bother doing a white at the bottom. What I'm looking for right now is just what's an easy pair that's already made. We've got orange and blue. Okay, we'll drop that down. That fits. Now, we are kind of doing a cross, but we're not doing it the same way we've done it here. What we're going to do is we're going to get 6 spots here filled in. On the opposite side, we'll have 6 spots filled in. We'll fill in these, and then we'll finish off the cube. Bear with me. This is kind of fun. Once I started learning how to do this, I was enjoying it. So we have orange, blue, yellow. Yellow, orange, blue. So we just drop that in. This is the bottom corners here are easy to fill in. Just take your time, go slow, and they fit right in. So what we need now are these 2 pieces to be proper. So we need orange and white. And so we look around, here's the orange and white. You get it up top. Now, since it's orange on the orange center and white on top, we'll line this up, move it to the opposite side that we want that to drop down into. We're going to slingshot this from here down over to here. And how we're going to do that is the left algorithm, which I said improper in the last little bit here, and I've already, I'm trying to watch this through the camera and it just hits different. So we do the left algorithm, we bring that up, we match the white, we swing that over, you see how we're now connected, drop that back down. So now we have this, and we happen to have this lined up, so that's fantastic. No problems, no complaints there. We also happen to have the yellow and orange that needs to go here with the orange and yellow. Orange is on the orange side. If it was yellow here and orange here, you would line the yellow up and go opposite of that to drop that in. You're just doing the same moves, you're just doing it from the other side. And then you saw how I did the left algorithm to drop that from right to left. Now we're going to go from left to right. So we do the right algorithm. Get your face facing you. You want this on the top more, but for the video, I'm showing it up this way a little bit more so that you can see it better. I hope you can see it better. Right algorithm, pivot, twist, drop. And we now have a face solved, part of a face. Let's look around. We have yellow and blue, yellow and blue. We're just going to go ahead, because this is easy, or at least for me. I hope it's easy for you. We need this to go down here, but we need the parts to match, because if we just turn like this, well, we've just ruined that, and we don't want that to happen. So what we do, we move that out of the way. You want that empty space up here. If you have a matching color up here, don't worry about it. We'll put it in there later. Don't worry if you mess that up. So we want that to be open so that we can do all this without messing up what we just made. So you get that out, pivot down, up, drop this back down, because now if we turn the top, we mess up the orange again. Leave that down, pivot back over. Now the yellow and blue matches up. Drop that out of the way, drop that down. Now we have matching colors. We'll do the same for this. Now, since that's all down here, we don't have to worry about messing this up, because what we're doing by doing that, we're just pivoting up, up, back, back. You're not messing this part up. We drop that in. I'm rambling on like you got to know a little bit about this. I'm sorry if I'm going too fast for you, but like I said, I do hope that you have seen other videos before you come to this. So we have now made a full face on the bottom. We have one row here. We're going to finish off this. That is not the proper red that goes there. That goes here. Opposite side, left algorithm, twist, plop, drop. Same thing here. Opposite side, drop. So now we have first two layers and a face. Let's get back to this. We're going to complete the first two layers. And that plop and drop that we was doing over here, we're going to do that again. So we need to make what we've made here with this. We have a red and blue, needs to go here. Opposite side, left algorithm, down. Now we need red and green. Let's look around. Red and green's over here. We'll pop. What we're going to do, if we try to move that up and twist out, we ruin what we've created. So we're going to just say this goes down in here. We'll just reboot that out and replace it. So now that piece is now out and over. We will now pop and drop. We have two more that need to be put in. We have an orange and blue. See how that does not match up to that color? You put that over to the color that matches, and then opposite of that. Left or right algorithm, depending on the direction you're going. So now we need to go orange-green. We have orange and green. We'll move that to the opposite side, pop and drop. So now we are at the same stages. I understand that the top looks different. That's okay. We have the line going across and we have the angle. Remember, we're doing the white face on this one, blue face on that. So opposite of blue is green. Opposite of white, yellow. Opposite of orange, red. It's like a dice. If a good cube should always have the proper colors on the proper sides. That's just how it is. So, to solve if you have the dot, which is just the opposite color in the middle, what you would do is face, right algorithm, face back. Then you would end up with this. These are going to be your two more common orientations. And what we do for this is we do face, right algorithm, face back. We now have yellow cross. What we're going to do for this, big face, in notations, they're all capital letters, but if you see lowercase, that means turn the first two of that side. Keep that in mind. That's very handy to know. And then we do the right algorithm, we pop it back, and now we have our crosses. So here, the solving method is the same. Once you've gotten to this point, once you got into the last spot where you're trying to make the opposite cross, it's all the same stuff, pretty much. Now, there's a dozen plus algorithms for how the pieces lay out. I do not have those memorized. Please go check out JPerm. He has a PDF that will show you pictures of orientations and permutations and how to figure them out. I'm showing you the slow but tried and true way of solving this. This is not speed cubing tutorials. This is just how to solve the cubes. So, we look at our corners. We have red, blue, and yellow. Red, blue, and yellow. That goes there. That happens to match. These two do not match. We'll come back to those. We'll kink that just a little bit just so you remember. Let's look at this. Green is our face color, so anything with green is where it's at. But yellow and red, that fits there. white and red, that fits there. Orange, white, and green, nope, nope. So we have two corners that need to switch over and replace each other. So what we do is write algorithm 3 times, turn the cube to where this is now, this opposite color that's from the bottom should be up. When you finish your right alg 3 times, that should be here in your front right corner. Let's move it to your front left corner. Do the left algorithm 3 times. Now, all the pieces are where they are. We only swapped these two. These two were already where they were supposed to be. These two are now where they should be. Let's show that again. These two need to switch. Face, top, right. 1, 2, 3. Opposite color is now in your front right corner. Move that to your front left corner. Left algorithm once, twice, 3 times. Now, I suggest that you get into the habit of finishing your algorithms like I just did, even though you do not have to. Technically, the colors match. On that last bit, you do not have to do that last flick. But I suggest that you get used to that because this final little step is where things get fun and can throw you off if you're not careful. So now we take our cubes upside down. Have that nice completed face looking at you, whatever color it is. So we happen to have 2 yellows that are facing the right angle. Corner yellows are facing the right way. We have 2 that are not. So you can either start with the cube that with the side in your front right corner, bottom right corner, with the yellow like that, or in this orientation, you can just turn it over. That's fine, because all of this is solved mathematically. You're not messing anything up. And what we do is the right algorithm until that is solved. And this is where finishing your algs comes in handy, because you see this little bit right here? You want that to be all the same color. You want that nice little square to be looking at you. If you've messed up and it's looking weird, you either have not finished your algorithm out or you done goofed. And you need to just kind of re-scramble a little bit and just go back to where you were. Now, keeping this facing you, lock and load your next corner that needs to be switched. Proceed to do your algorithm until that is solved. Now, we are not completely solved yet. We have 1 side that is, 3 sides that are not. And here's where it's going to get tricky that I may not be able to explain it properly. I'm sorry if I do not. We load our unflipped corner in, we flip it, finish the alg, lock and load, flip and load. And if you do it right, it will finish out here nicely. Now, I will say on some solves, you'll notice that this will complete itself and you still have unsolved corners. That's fine. Continue through mathematically. You'll get back to this if you do it right. And we have 1 side that's solved, 3 sides that are not. And they both go the same way. I was hoping they would come out differently so that I could show you the different ways of doing it. But if you have 4 unsolved edge pieces, just do what I'm about to do and it will bring you to this, and then you can finish from this. So if you have 4 pieces that are unsolved, top side up here, get that side facing up, does not matter. For me, I'm going to hold this facing away because I have to for this to work. But what you're going to do is you're going to take one of 2 sides, because at the moment everything is symmetrical. Don't worry. For me, I need to do the left side because this needs to boot here, that needs to go here, this needs to go here. Don't worry about that just yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this side 180 degrees. I'm going to do a U prime. I'm going to do an L prime, U prime, L, U, L, U, L, U prime, L, and the cube is solved. Now, if you had 4 pieces that were not matched, that would bring you to this. Maybe not this specific color orientation, but it would bring you to a solved side, solved top. You just need to move these edge pieces around. Now, what I just did, moved that to here, this to here, and this to here. And that's what you're going to look at. Look at your colors. Does this need to go here? If so, do the opposite of what I do. Right now, I'm going to go L2, 180 degrees. If you're trying to go the other direction, do R2. I'll try to talk you through this. I'm going to do a U prime. If you're going on the right side, do a U. No U prime, just a U. Do an L prime, or do an R. No primes. R. U prime, or U, if you're going the other direction. Sorry if this gets confusing. But we have now done Lulu, or Ruru, depending on how you want to remember that. Ruh-roh. So, once you've done that, now we're going to go backwards from what we just did. We are now going to go L, U, prime, or U, if you're going from this way to that way. Continue doing that, and I've done goofed, because what I did, I think, excuse me while I get back into this. I realize I miscounted here. Let me just get back to where I was. It happens. I'm not great at looking through the camera. Did not come across the dot, so I'm not going to bother showing you that at the moment. Okay, actually it came up a little differently. We have 4 unsolved corners, so let's just get right back into it. We'll pick a direction. Actually, we're going to do it this way. R2, U, R, U, R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, I think, U. Did I overshoot? I overshot. There we go. I can do it in my head. I can speed through these suckers in a minute and a half. But when it comes time to actually talk you guys through it, I flub up, and I apologize. I am not the best teacher when it comes to cubing. But now we are back to this. And now, lucky you if you decided to wait, we now need to move this right. So let's do this again. R2, U, R, U, Ruru, R2, Uru, however you want to remember that in your head. R prime, U prime, R prime, U prime, R prime, U, R prime, and the cube is solved. And those are 2 ways to solve a cube. I understand I was terrible at describing that to you, but that is 2 ways to solve a Rubik's Cube. It comes across very similar at the very end, but those starting methods, you know, can save you time, because if you have a lucky scramble that has several pieces already matching colors there, that can save you a lot of time just on that. And most players do, on the speed cubing scheme, do the cross and solve that way. But I'm kind of just having fun doing the 2 layers on these sides, fill those in, and then finish off. It's just a fun way to solve it. And so, to try to redeem myself a little bit here, I'm going to scramble this cube without looking at it, and see how fast we can solve this thing. And there is a website Rubiks, Grubiks, where you can enter your cube scramble. It's a touchscreen interactive thing website where you can tap the colors and load them in for your cube, and it will show you how to solve your cube if you have troubles. Consider checking that out. So let's take a look at the scramble that I have. I am not going to do the cross. Actually, it would be beneficial to do the cross on this one. So, here we go. Solved. How long was that? Did you watch? But yeah, that's my 2 speed cubes that I have. 2 ways to solve them. Sloppy way of solving it, but I do hope that this little part can help you out at least when you go to read the notations. So, thank you for watching this video. Hope you found it useful. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want to see me do more solve videos where I just solve a cube, live stream just me solving a cube, let me know. So, thank you for watching. Hope you have a lovely day. Until the next video, farewell, carry well, and a bye-bye.